choose to play out after this. Michael, what are your thoughts? You think they're going to play it out?
Um, there's two individuals there who I think will want to play it out.
It does have to be unanimous, I think, right?
I personally hate that. It should be majority. In all honesty, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's how the cookie crumbles. So
that is indeed.
we're gonna see what looks to be. Well, the opponent looks like it's mono steel in his hand.
So far. All right, so it looks like we have a steel song. I believe it's still song deck coming out of Justin here.
And a Ruby Amethyst with You Can Fly in the deck. That's not a common inclusion into Ruby Amethyst. Wow. That's interesting.
It's definitely a good way to deal with those, when with Ruby Amethyst having those evasive characters that you don't want to have to deal with, you know, or don't want to have to specifically have cards in just to deal with that. That's a good way to kind of play around it in a different way. It's the first time I'm seeing it today.
Yeah. And then what is this?
And then right here we have a Sapphire Steel, it looks like. Sapphire Steel, which I think someone in the chat was saying they're really hoping to see a Steel Sapphire deck again. Well, it is your lucky day. That is exactly what he is running. I think I said it was a Amber Steel earlier. That was a speak on my part.
What in the world?
So he is
He's putting his ink a little bit too close to the field. But we'll see if that's...
I think that is his way of saying that his card is drying the ink. I understand it.
Yep.
Because he's moving it up at that point.
Right,
So I do understand it. I've not seen that before, though.
One jump ahead.
Now, one jump ahead, I like it, but man, I always just wish I could tell what it got rid of. You know what I mean? That's almost like a detriment when you don't know what you just missed.
Questing for one, going to one.
Then we have that Surfer Mini coming out again.
Inks of Jasmine and
changes his mind.
Suppose is okay with that. Right?
Yeah. Jump ahead, and then he's playing the Jasmine. I'll be honest, I'm not particularly a fan of him leaving the drying card on his ink. I hope that doesn't become the new way we do it. I don't love that too much. I think I might have OCD, everybody. All right, so we got Jake going into his next turn now. Gonna be able to get that easy lore off of Minnie Mouse, but he could, in theory, take out the Captain Hook with her too.
Yeah, maybe we tell him not to do that.
No, I don't think it's anything. I think it's personal preference.
If the board gets kind of too big and we can't tell, then it needs to be
for sure. I think if it causes a problem, you know what I mean. I think that would definitely be the ruling. But right now, I think he seems to have. It seems to be his play style. He seems to have a management over it. See if he starts turning his ink sideways for usage. Wonder if that's going to be something in competitive play where it is a mandatory step that you have to take
to exert your
ink when you use it.
Yeah, I do that anyway. So inking Aurora. Oh no, it looks like he's just playing the Aurora, skipping inking, and questing for 2. Goes to 2.
Yep. Right. So now it's the rabbit on the field with Minnie Mouse. So easy, 3 lore on the next one. He has a Be Prepared in his hand. I think that the questing on the Minnie Mouse, I don't think Justin runs anything evasive, so he's gonna have to deal with it with some sort of removal or something like that. So just use that as much as you can. Really. So
Justin is at 2 lore, and the Aurora is on top of the ink because that is where he's placing it because that card is drying. There is technically a space on the playmats given out by Lorcana in the rulebook that state the dried characters go on top of the game field. The middle portion is used for drying characters, meaning they cannot quest or exert themselves for abilities or card effects. And then the bottom portion of the gameplay mat would be your ink.
I do think that he was referring to over Beast, meaning why did he choose to play Aurora over Beast in that
Oh,
situation? I do think that playing the Beast would be the smarter play. I'm not sure the initial value from the Ward because he's going against something that it does have targeted abilities, but he knows he's not going to be able to use those target abilities. I mean, he's really just playing around the Lady Tremaine at that point. But then you're sacrificing your Aurora. Do you really value your Jasmine that much? I do agree that possibly the Beast play would have been better.
goes to 5 and looking to catch up a little bit on lore, but Jake's taking a commanding lead and advantage as well as lore. That mini is going unchecked as of right now. Justin really needs to see a grab your swords.
All right, so he's gonna sing a friends on the other side, drawing another be prepared. So definitely has a lot of removal option ready to go.
Playing the Tremaine here is just kind of lackluster. You can maybe use the other Merlin to.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Maui to take out Aurora. I do like that.
Just gonna quest.
And
Quest for 3, go to 8. Surprised they're not using the playmat for lore. I have one of those from Miami. I used to use it, but then the mat started fraying.
ooh,
Oh,
that's rough.
Winnie to play Beast.
Okay, so we have Beast on the field.
Now you can use Tinkerbell to start cleanup duty. You can use it to take out one of the Merlins to get rid of the mini. This way, that's off the board. Since her damage can be dealt to mini, even though it is evasive. And it looks like that's what.
Okay, I'm gonna take out that goat instead, or rabbit, and then he's gonna put the damage
Oh.
on Maui.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't want to get rid of it. He doesn't want to have his Tinkerbell go out so early. He wants to take it out another. I understand that for sure.
And then Jasmine's going to quest for 1, bringing Justin up to 6.
Yeah, be prepared seems like the likely play now. Going to quest for 3. Turn. Yep, be prepared. Yep, it's kind of the smart play there. A Tinkerbell and a Beast and a Jasmine on the field that can get rid of some damage. I mean, that's a. It's time. You know what I mean? You don't want to wait on that. And plus, he's got the advantage in lore right now, so that kind of resets his tempo in his favor, I think. Be prepared, man. I think that one is people start. Remember when it went down to like $7-8?
It was at like $4 or $5.
Yeah,
At
I
one
mean, like
point.
it was so cheap, and people were like, "Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be good anymore."
Yeah. Okay, that one I never heard.
Yeah,
That
well,
card. The only board wipe in the game as of right now. The only close comparison would be in Justin's colors, Grabby Swords.
yeah.
Here comes a Mickey bodyguarded and quest for 2, go to 8. And Justin's just gonna, or Jake's gonna quest for 4, go to 15. And play Maleficent to get yet another card and another Be Prepared. So that's number 3 for Jake. And looks like can't really get rid of the evasive mini, so he's just gonna play Madam Mim to return the Maleficent, play the Maleficent, get another draw to Goat. That's a good one. And
Yeah.
even if he answers one of the minis, that Goat secures him the game.
Yep.
And he drew another shift hook, so that looks like that's about it for Justin.
Yeah.
Nothing he can really do.
I think we're about to get the concede for sure. Or is he just gonna? Threw that card down with a little gusto there.
And that's it for Justin. And Jake takes game 1
Yep.
very, very fast.
Yep, that was a very quick game 1 for sure. I think there was a couple missteps by Justin on that one. I think the Beast early on would have helped him out because he would have got some card draw early on. I think that also does he run Whole New World in his deck?
Let's see. There's a 68 cards in Justin's deck right now, and There's a lot of one ofs, a lot of two ofs.
Yeah, it's a very inconsistent looking deck. Looking at the deck list itself, just while they're getting set up here, I'm going to read just the one ofs real quick. One of Hercules True Hero, Donald Duck Musketeer, Mickey Mouse Musketeer, Beast Tragic Hero, Goofy, I believe it's the Big Goofy, Cinderella Stout Hearted, and handwriting's a little tough on this one.
That's Aurora Dreaming.
Cogsworth, Cogsworth, the grandfather clock, and then a Prince Charming. So a very odd assortment of cards. I see them all being useful, but I think that irregularity in his deck is, and it also seems like there was a little bit of like it kind of creates confusion on what direction he really wants to go with it.
See, that's the beauty of this game. You can take a pile of cards and do well. He's 3/1/1 in contention for top 8. Like, that's the beauty of this game. You can play anything you want almost and do relatively well if you're having your day.
For sure. And to the point of it's Disney and maybe some people don't have all the cards yet and it's still people's first cards name. That's totally fine. And I'm not saying that he can't put those in. I'm just saying in when you compare this to other things, there's a lot of 2 ofs in here. There's a lot of 3 and stuff like that where maybe condensing and because you don't have those cards, condensing those choices down a little bit, making a little bit of hard cuts where you have to. But I will say some of those cards are commons and uncommons with the amount of cards that he has in his deck that are legendary or higher. I would say he probably has access to some of those, at least the uncommons and commons. So now we're going to get ready to go into the next game here, game 2 of round 6. Now we got Justin putting out a flounder. At least with the ink, he's putting it where he, on the pile of ink that he uses. He's kind of using his ink that way instead of turning it. So I understand he has a system. So I appreciate that there's not just chaos on the board. However, it does make me it does make me kind of like a little bit harder to follow it compared to just the normal typical way. So
sorry, Splendid, I got whole caught up in that conversation. Love you too, buddy. It's great to be here. Great commentating here at Versus. Probably gonna see me more behind the booth, especially for Versus events.
We got a Cusco coming on the field, which is great. Love to see that card draw going right into that, and I think that's what helped Jake last time, just having so much. He just kept cycling cards. He had a lot of answers, and he just kept drawing more.
Yep, and Jake gets on the board. Quest for 1 matches Justin's 1. Inks another flounder and plays Caterpillar. That card I haven't been seeing play with. It's a 3/1/3 quest for 3.
Yeah,
one of the cheapest cards you can quest for 3 with.
100%. Super good one, kind of like Ray, you know what I mean? Where it's a 5/3/3 evasive quest for 3, and it's a common. I mean, you can't go wrong. That's a great card.
Yeah. Play Rabbit, draw a card, and probably just quest out. Yep, goes to 4.
So we got Tinkerbell going into the Inkwell and a big old Donald Duck Musketeer coming out. Now, that's one of those
5.
one of cards that he has in his deck. So
goes to 8. There's only one Donald Duck.
That's it.
68 cards.
He's able to put it out there. And it's going to be able to tank, I believe, with, I think it's a 5, but I think he's going to be able to tank the entire board. So he's going to have to do like a Maui, which he does have in hand.
Gotta clear that Caterpillar for sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna take the Merlin Rabbit and the Cusco to do it.
Yep. They'll both survive. Definitely worth the trade.
Yep. Takes out the Caterpillar.
There we go. So that was a good way to clear that up real fast. That Maui being in hand is super duper great. Donald Duck Musketeer card. Usually those 5s and stuff like that are going to be able to take a lot.
Yeah.
Maui to shut that down. Does have looks like that a whole new world sitting at the front. It doesn't want to ink and hard cast that. That's just gonna.
How many whole new world is in here?
I might be wrong.
No, there's no. There's 2 whole new worlds.
There's 2. Okay.
So he's going to play Sisu, another card that doesn't really see a lot of play.
Yeah.
Free Develop Your Brain on Quest for 2.
One of those cards where you see it in the pre-release and you're thinking, oh my god, this card is going to run the meta. It's going to be in every blue deck, and then you barely see it.
Yeah. Just for the fact that it's uninkable. Quest
Yeah.
for 2.
I don't think it's good enough to be uninkable. I think it could have been inkable and still been all right. When you got cards like Maleficent Dragon.
Yeah.
Lot of board state building up on Jake's side. Not too much lore though, so not too much pressure for Justin right now. He still has a decent lead. Those flounders, man.
They stuck in since round.
How many turns has it been? That's the strongest, most long-lasting flounders I've ever seen. Deciding what he wants to do. Jake really wants to shut this down right away. Gonna put that mini to work, getting 2 more.
Going to 7, and then presumably using the Merlin to take out a Flounder.
Goes to go to 8 and 9. Wow.
9.
Those flounders might go down in history as the strongest flounders.
He's at 10.
Oh. Might have missed one on the lore. Jake's actually at 10. And he's going to bounce one, and thank goodness, take out one of the most menacing creatures on the board, that flounder. I was starting to get very, very scared. So now 1 flounder remains and a Sisu, 3 3 lore on the board for Justin for next turn. And it looks like he's not done over there, Jake. He's got more to play. Maleficent Dragon, draw a card. What's that card? Ooh, Lady Tremaine.
So once he gets rid of the other devastating Flounder, he can at least get rid of the Sisu. Or he can use Maui to go into the Sisu, use Maleficent to take out that Flounder if he so wishes, and then whatever character Justin plays, he'll be able to clear out with that Lady Tremaine in his hand.
Yep. I do see, I think, is that a Kronk? Is that the...
Whoa, my boy. Where is...
It is a Kronk. He's got the Junior Chipmunk Kronk.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Oh, I think that is
Squeaker.
the only one in this whole tournament.
Squeaker, squeak, squeak. Let's go.
It's all
You got to play him.
I definitely love. That's one of my favorite ones. I can't wait to add that to the tattoo collection.
Mm-hmm.
Love me some Emperor's New Groove. Give me a Cusco that shifts. You know what I mean? Like I want some crazy Cusco cards. Oh, it's gonna ink the Kronk.
No.
No, after we talk so good about it. And he's gonna fire the cannons. Who's gonna fire it on? I mean,
Probably the Fox.
yeah, probably the Fox for sure. Mini is just steady doing work.
And he's going to whole new world.
All right, so that whole new world, only running a couple in the deck, definitely important to have that. Those are good to have. If only going to run 2 of them.
Looks like he hit a copy of Be Prepared. Not really doing a lot here, though.
Going into chat for a second. My daughter is 10 and is so confused by the player on the right. Then the player on the left appears to untap the ink at the end of his turn. So just so you know, the player on the right is doing his ink and card management very different than most players do it. The player on the left is going to be more of traditionally how you'll expect to see this game. You have your ink well where you put your ink resource in, and then you will turn that sideways when you use it on your turn. And then at the start of your next turn, you will untap or reset or ready your board, and then you would draw the card and then continue on. But yeah, so the way you're seeing it on Jake's side on the left, that's how you would normally typically see it for the most part. Justin only turns his cards kind of like diagonally when they're exerted. Most players will turn them all the way to the side, so it's very easy to see. All right, so now we got Mim bouncing things around, and then Maui coming back out, clearing the board, taking out the Flounder, and I don't think he played that Tremaine yet. It still has it in his hand, right?
Oh, no, it got discarded.
Oh, that's right, the whole new world. That's right, yeah.
And then he quests for 3.
So great way to even, like, you know, he loses that Tremaine, he loses that plan he had, but still able to get the same result at the end of it.
Yeah,
You know what I
his
mean?
board's clear at the end of the day.
So getting up there for both of these players in the lore now, 13 to 12. It is gonna be close, but I would say it's looking pretty much in Jake's favor at the moment. That grab your sword's doing damage, but not clearing anything except the Maleficent. It doesn't look like he has a Tink or another Grab Your Swords in hand. Isn't able to play anything else. That's 5, and he has 7 ink so far.
So you're gonna Teeth him
Oof.
the Cinderella, so he can't get to the
Stout Heart.
Stout-Hearted in his deck. He only has one.
I was gonna
but
say, even if he pulls it, the one of copy.
Let's go into 16. Looks like he's gonna do some shenanigans with the goat. Yep, 17. And 18.
Go.
And
realistically, if he has any kind of bounce mechanic in his hand, that's GG.
already looking pretty scary.
Yeah, that's. I mean, there's not much that Justin's going to be able to do. Tinkerbell is a great one that does wipe those two out, so that does, but still, if he can't do something about that fox, he knows that goat's in his hand. You know what I mean? So if it quests, it's go.
Game.
Yeah, quest and go. Booyah. So,
yep.
That was a great matchup, but unfortunately, the Ruby Amethyst takes over, and I don't think that it was really an issue with Ruby